motorbikes, superpowers, and whatever this is supposed to be. Honestly, what is this? A man-baby alien?
What?
Anyway, if you haven't guessed it by now, today I'll be talking about the anime movie Akira, which was directed by Katsuhiro Otomo. Before we get into things, I'd like to show you how the video will be structured and future videos from now on. First, I'll start with a rough summary of the plot. Now, if you have already seen the story, it would be advisable for you to jump to the part where I start talking about the characters, which will be the second part of this video. Afterwards, I'll speak on my likes and dislikes of the video. Then to close it all off, I'll give you my final thoughts with a fair rating. I say the word fair while using air quotations because let's be honest, the anime community is always biased. That's just how it is, you just gotta learn to live with it. So let's get into it. The plot of Akira takes place in a futuristic timeline in Neo Tokyo and is surprisingly not centered around the protagonist but rather the antagonist of the film. There is conflict which takes place early on in the film between two biker gangs, which further leads to the antagonist colliding with the superhuman man baby Takashi. This is where the story starts picking up pace, as he is taken away by a secret government organization to run tests on him and his newfound abilities. His best friend Kaneda, who is the protagonist, looks to rescue him from the organization, but things go south and Tetsuo, the antagonist, learns of Akira and sets out to find him and use his power, but there is a potential of a cataclysmic event taking place if the two meet. Attempting to stop this, Kaneda must go out to stop his childhood friend, which leads to a final emotional battle between the two. Before we continue, how about you hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so, as it helps me to grow my channel, which inspires me to watch more shows and make more videos for you. Now let me discuss the characters. I'll be talking about the protagonist and two other characters which will be a running theme on the channel. First, let's discuss Kaneda. Kaneda is the leader of his biker gang and has gained a lot of respect from his friends, who are also a part of his crew. His devotion to his friends is shown as he is never willing to abandon them. Unfortunately, there isn't much going for his character or any other character in Akira for that matter, but he is pretty much a cool dude and has the coolest bike in the entire film, so I'll give him points for that. Then we have Tetsuo, the antagonist, who by the way is by far the most outstanding character in the show, even though I also find him to be one of the many mediocre characters in the story. But the reason for lack of characterization could be because this is a film and not a 25 episode series, or maybe I'm just making excuses. Fortunately, we do get some backstory here with this character, as we see he has somewhat always been a coward as a child, always needing Kaneda to pull him out of trouble. This is what pushes him to the dark side, as he no longer sees the need to be saved and declares he will now be the one who saves Kaneda, leading him to have a god complex. Throughout the entire movie, he is an agent of chaos. Everywhere he goes basically ends with someone's death, including his own girlfriend, who by the way is never brought up again. Literally, it's like Kaneda completely forgot about her dying and no one brings up the incident ever again because while Tetsuo is his best friend and whatever he does can be forgiven. Kinda reminds me of the situation in Naruto with Sasuke, but that's a topic for another day.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
Trying to pick a third character to speak about was difficult, even more difficult to speak about the cringe characters in Fairy Tail.
Oh, damn.
But I did promise 3 characters, and for the final character I have picked Kei. Yes, there's not a lot to work with here, but there is an interesting revelation about her towards the end of the movie. Other than that, she just serves as a pathway for the main character to learn about the secret organization. Despite the non-existent interesting characters, there are 2 things about the show which I really did enjoy. The first thing I want to speak on are the fight scenes. I think these were done well, and there was a balance in the final fight between those with power and those who must be creative, such as Kaneda, whose only weapon was a laser gun. The conflict at the beginning of the movie was also done well, though I wish we saw more of the biker gang wars in the movie. The second thing which I like about the movie is the art style. For a movie which came out in the 80s, I think the art holds up pretty well. As a matter of fact, I enjoy the old art styles in anime. Many people want certain shows to be remade with better animation, but I'm okay with the old stuff as it keeps that classical feeling. Now moving on to the things I don't like, which by the way is everything besides the 2 things I previously mentioned. The movie has boring characters, the plot pacing can be a little bit inconsistent.
You're joking. Not another one?
You could even argue that the first 30 minutes and last 30 minutes are the only interesting parts of the movie.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
When your story's best character is a mediocre antagonist, then unfortunately, there's not much to enjoy. Let's not forget about our little damsel in distress Kaori, who is the girlfriend I mentioned before. She is never spoken of after her death, which isn't the only thing which isn't talked about, by the way, as certain plot points are never expanded on and have no payoff. Now that I've said all I can on the film, it is time to give it a rating. Pains me to say this, but I have to give Akira a 5 out of 10.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. 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 Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Yes, only a 5. The show could have been a 6 or a 7 if it focused more time on its characters rather than continuous explosions. Despite it having good animation, that alone can't be enough to give it a higher rating. I believe 5 is somewhat fair. Now, I don't watch a lot of anime movies, but I've certainly seen better. For example, Sword of the Stranger is a good example of a phenomenal movie. But all of this is just my opinion. I still encourage you to watch for yourself so you can have your own opinion, because you might enjoy the movie more than I did. With that being said, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. This is Masquerade and I'm signing out. Peace.